Good morning. Oh, yes, and good morning and buenos dias. And my friend Jeanette, you have been unwell. You have been sick, and I am very sorry. Please get well. Mm. And for the rest of you, stay well, stay healthy, stay at peace, and stay safe in this dark, dark time. A few minutes ago, the sky had this lovely string of pink right across the horizon, and now it's almost gone. You can just kind of see it right in the corner there. You can just see a little bit of pink fading out. The sun is coming up behind the clouds. It's beautiful. Mm. But more than just being beautiful, um, it's bright and colorful and soothing and serene. And that's always a good thing. We need those bright, colorful, serene things, especially now dealing with the limitless bullshit that has just come to overwhelm and overpower us socially, politically, etc., etc. Economically, we're in a housing crisis, and the government is building expensive condos for rich people. It's not rich people that are having a problem finding a place to live. It's poor people that are having a problem finding a place to live. And it's rich people who are buying up all the houses as investment properties, and then slapping up no trespassing signs and asking their police friends to keep an eye on things and make sure that no homeless people sneak in and try to live there. Welcome to capitalist democracy, where it is better for the people to be homeless than it is for any limitation to be imposed upon the rich. Mm. Joy and fucking bliss. Yeah. Joy and fucking bliss. So I've been binge watching videos by one Khadija Mbowe. I don't think I pronounced that last name properly, but whatever. She's a lovely lady. American born, has grown up and lived in Canada. She's a social commentator. Quite a wonderful human being. She does this wonderful sexy dance at the beginning of a lot of her videos, this little wiggle thing, you know. What is the male equivalent of that wiggle? I mean, come on, what is the male version of this? Yeah. There's got to be a male version of that, and I don't know what it is. If I knew, I'd do it once in a while. I don't. Damn. That's bloody unfair, don't you think? Well. In any case, good morning to all you fine and lovely ladies, and the gentlemen, of course, but mostly the ladies. It's Monday, it's 29th of November. It's finally winter. It took a little while to kick in, but now it's here. It's here. We've definitely got winter. Absolutely. Mm. And yesterday I was mildly amused by a comment by a white supremacist answering a comment of a friend of mine, and this white supremacist just revealed to the world how dumb he truly is and how oblivious he truly is. And it's like, yeah, okay, it's always good when the trash takes itself out. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow. So, anyway, I want to talk briefly about the artificial connection made between evolution and the Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang Theory, of course, is the colloquial term for the expanding universe model, which is basically the premise that the universe has a definite beginning, some 13 to 14 billion years ago, and it's been expanding ever since. And somehow, young earthers have got this idea that somehow this expanding universe model is part of the theory of evolution. I'm not sure where they get this idea. Possibly the sheer effort of being that ignorant requires them to equate things that are completely unrelated. Theory of evolution, of course, is the understanding we have of how life evolves. It has nothing to do with the formation of the universe. It's all about life. So no, these are not the same thing. These are not interchangeable concepts. These are not a part of each other. The Big Bang model is part of physics. Evolutionary theory is part of biology. These are two separate sciences. They're not even related to each other. One is complex mathematics, the other is, well, statistics. Now, statistics are horrible. I hate statistics. But I digress. I mean, yeah. The theory of evolution was developed by a Christian by the name of Charles Darwin. No, he was not an atheist. He was a Christian, looking for evidence of the flood and evidence of the first created species. And instead, he discovered that, no, that's not how it works. He was a geologist. He was an actual scientist. He was a trained geologist, and geology was his passion. He wasn't just a random guy who came up with an idea. He was a trained scientist of his day, a gentleman scientist who had studied at the University of Edinburgh. And he knew what he was talking about. Mostly because he was one of those people that if he didn't know what he was talking about, he didn't say anything. He just kept quiet until he figured things out. Actually, a very clever approach there, don't you think? Yeah. If you don't know, shut the fuck up. Good philosophy. I wish more creationists would adhere to it. In any case, he was a trained geologist. He had also studied for the clergy because, yes, as a devout Christian, he wanted to spread the good news and become a missionary. Yeah. Ugh. Luckily, he realized how full of shit his initial ideas were, and he came to understand that the prevailing bigotry that he'd been taught as a Christian growing up in a Christian society was wrong. And that being a missionary is absolutely the worst possible thing you can become. It's better to become a prostitute or a drug addict. At least then you're doing something decent. But he could never quite divest himself of religion. Even later in life, long after he wrote The Origins of Species and after he wrote The Descent of Man, he still remained a religious figure. He left Christianity, but he continued to believe that there had to be a God. There had to be a God. So no, he went from being a devout Christian to being a nominal Christian to being a deist. He never achieved atheism. He could never wrap his head around atheism. Oh, school bus. And his model of the universe required an understanding of genetics. His model required genetics. But of course, genetics wasn't figured out until near his death by an Austrian monk who is considered the father of genetics. And this Austrian monk answered Darwin's big question: how does it work? What is the method that this relies on? And I will put the monk's name down below. I don't have it on. It slipped my mind completely. In any case, the theory of evolution has since moved on past Darwin, past the Austrian monk, and has moved into bigger and better things, and is now the foundation of our entire understanding of biology. So, no. You can't just make the theory of evolution go away. You can add to it, you can correct mistakes that have been made along the way, but you cannot get rid of it, because we already know these facts. You're not going to make us unknow these facts. It just doesn't work that way. And now on to the Big Bang. The expanding universe model, which is completely unrelated to evolution, was based on the works of Father Georges Lemaitre, a Belgian priest. Yes, another Christian, who came up with what we call the Big Bang model of the universe, at a time when most cosmologists favored the steady-state universe. And Einstein himself initially rejected the Big Bang model because it smelled just a little too much like trying to wiggle a god in there. And yes, Albert Einstein, who creationists love to insist had to have been a Christian, was in fact an atheist. Einstein, the atheist. Yeah. So no, he was not a Christian. He was an atheist. A staunch atheist. But in any case, the Big Bang model, or the expanding universe model, explains what we see when we look at the stars and at galaxies and at galaxy clusters. It's all physics and astrophysics and cosmology. Has nothing to do with living beings. Nothing. And quite honestly, the theory of evolution does not depend upon the Big Bang model. The Big Bang model does not depend on evolution. They are completely independent of one another. If we went back to a steady-state universe, the theory of evolution would still be the theory of evolution. It would be unaffected. If we went to a cyclic universe, the theory of evolution would still be the theory of evolution, completely unaffected. Attacking the Big Bang does not make evolution go away. It just doesn't. And I wish that I could get creationists to understand this painfully self-evident fact. But that's willful stupidity for you.